Have you ever wanted to speak to history, just to know the why of it? I don't. Not any longer. There's old stories about gods and men, past history into myth, where the gods, they're like children, petulant, cruel. Those were the voices of the big empty. The past couldn't leave well enough alone. Had to ask the why of it. Their answers were madness, and power stronger than me. Would take 100 Elijahs, someone tougher than him or I, to best them in their dome. They didn't know why they were there, what had led to that point. Their names, like serpents devouring themselves, cannibalizing their own thoughts. When all seemed lost, thought it was the end. My anger gave me strength to ask them my last question. Who are you that do not know your history? And they awoke. For a short time, the flag you wear, they said. We remember. America. It wasn't just a flag to them. It was a place, an idea they had cared for. Once, they told me what it was like to grow in that world. All they had done to lift it up, protect it. They didn't know it was gone. That, yet, they had cared once, before forgetting their history. I listened. I asked, was there anything left? Anything that still carries America's voice? They told me what lies in the heart of the divide, what can be found there, and the words to awaken it, and the one to speak them. As they were talking, kept seeing the career's shadow behind them, giving each their words weight. History cast aside, a home left behind, and they told me I had already been there. I and one other, walking right out of history, deeper than we knew. Big empty. There's something hidden there, a crater, past wind and sand, so deep in the desert, there's no turning back. Left the colors to mark my way, like always, case someone finds them, learns the pattern. The courier might. Finding the crater was an accident, was following the weather patterns. The divide sky torn like that. Man's violence, not nature's. That violence in the sky had a source. Tracked it, like following a river current. But I thought sand and wind would never end. Came to the crater, and there was an old world facility, a weather station at the edge, still raking the sky with electricity and generators, and beyond it, saw the rest of the old world hell there, all carved up like garden plots. Had to see what was there. Couldn't leave it be. Things sleep in the big empty. The Brotherhood woke them up. Can't move quiet any more than the two-headed bear can. And when they woke up, it was like all of history waking up at once. Almost didn't make it out. Almost. Left with answers I never intended. Back again. Left that crater behind. Got a few holotapes left. One's from the medical center. The woman, she fixed the recorder. Said it wouldn't last. Repayment for me, fixing her. She doesn't like debts. Can respect that. Payment enough. Just to hear someone who believes in the Brotherhood of Steel. Not Elijah. Different view. Same madness. She answered me on their philosophy, their way of seeing, the roads they walk. Dead ends. Empty. As if technology can solve anything. Big empty's proof where that road leads. Just like the divide, and all the roads that lead to it. Last tape, last message. In case you best me. If you're hearing this, you have, through blood or word, this message and all that lies with it. It is for you. courier. If you want to know the why of things, this world, I've walked a good part of it. I stopped only because of you. What you did gave me pause. Long ago, I crossed the Colorado, the first among the Legion to see Hoover Dam in all its glory. An old world wall, yet bridging two sides, and beyond it, a symbol of a two-headed bear. An idea great enough to challenge Caesar himself, might kill him taking it, whether he won or lost. The bull needs to fight, needs the challenge. Without it, it falters, dies in the dust. Might be a lesson there, in you and me. Leave the thought behind the message to you. My message is this: the destruction that has been wrought at the Divide, or elsewhere. If you couldn't stop me, it can happen again. It will keep happening. If war doesn't change, men must change, and so must their symbols. Even if it is nothing at all, know what you follow, courier, just as I followed you to the end. Whatever your symbol, carry it on your back, and wear it proudly when you stand at Hoover Dam. I walked the Great Salt Lake as Kaiser's eye, then his hand. Mongrels there, 2 legs and 4. Saw the walls of New Canaan and the scavengers circled, had the strength or fire to take. Too high, too strong. White legs, they were born for war. They run to it, hungry for battle. Yet their hunger is to be a part of history, something larger, like the Legion, as always, brought them a message from Caesar. If New Canaan burns, Caesar might see them. Might. Even the chance was a lie. To honor Caesar, destroy the history of New Canaan and the way they carry it in their generations and family. Caesar respects such strength, I told them. That was truth, even if strength wasn't the word. Obedience. You must be willing to kill anyone. Children, mothers, the weak, elders. If these New Canaanites value the generations, that is what you must kill. It was like Ulysses was speaking through me. Use the night, silence, and fire to change their words to please, to screams. No need for bombs, when hate will do. I asked the white legs to destroy a people with ancestry going back thousands of years. Another death of history, lost to time. The New Canaanites. They supplied medicine, food traded with others, civilization, a hand from the past. Not history, but maybe a past deeper. Farther than that, to a place where this God really exists. If so, his handiwork and people belong elsewhere, not in this place. Another symbol like bear and bull, with no meaning in the present. Emptiness here, like the sands of the Great Salt Lake, echoed. The beating in the Divide sky, like storm drums of the white legs, ran with them on the salt beds at Caesar's command. Cut the throats of the two-headed bear, cut all communities off. Use storm, sky, disease, fire, starvation, and the violence of the ignorant to ruin all who could. Might stand against him, but the white legs, they couldn't live on their own like most scavengers, so gave them purpose, turned their hunger into a weapon, the wall of New Canaan, too high for Caesar, too proud maybe, or maybe something there from his past that needed killing. Memory of Graham helped them dig out Canaan's supply caches and other secrets the sands hid. Bunkers filled with powered weapons even the Brotherhood might desire. They call these new weapons storm drums, in the firing of shells. Taught them the power in the casings to channel the spirits in their guns. Me, they called me the flag bearer. Glory in my hand, in my staff that still bore the weight of the old world, just as the symbol on my back did. I learned their weapons as a means of respect, and when it came their turn to pay respect to me, history came rushing back. Can't escape what's been done. History's there, no matter how far you walk. The Whitelegs meant to show respect, bribe me for Kaiser's favor, echoing mannerisms and words, showed them tech caches, taught them the workings of chamber and powder, spoke of Kaiser's pride in those that used such things. Lies. And then they tried to honor me, not the Legion. They brought me before the campfire one night, showed me how they changed themselves, how they wore their hair now. It was like my entire dead tribe in the firelight, teeth grinning red in the dark, eager corpses, blood-covered ghosts. They had taken my braids, the way of the twisted hairs, as if it showed they were like me, of me, while every knot in their braids spoke of raping, violence, and ignorance of what the knots meant. They thought to show respect. They filed it. They didn't even know the insult in the twists, knots. And Drywells came rushing back. The Whitelegs circled like that. Lost myself in trying to read the braids they wove. When I remembered, they had put no meaning in it. They had no history of what it meant. It was like looking at the dead of my tribe, reborn as ghosts, hateful, hungry, bowing to Kaiser. Another history, gone, carried by me alone.
Watch yourself. Next time, you won't get mercy. Some things here. Checking for movement. Movement. Found you. There. Comes back. I'll be ready. Courier'll show soon. If that's what you wish, then let's settle this. Let's see what you stand for. The Divide'll be your grave. Let's have an ending to this. Bombs won't save you. Explosive. Must have taken cover. Gone to ground. Gone. Must have took off. Won't leave. Not yet. So it's to be my ending then. End of the road. My flag rests here. I'll answer fire with fire. Gift from the Divide. Need to get some distance. Stronger than I thought. The Divide belongs to history now. The Mojave awaits. Can hear the weight in your feet. You're bound for that old world wall. Hoover Dam. Maybe not now. In time. Full circle. Walked your road. Now back again. Something else in you needing an answer. Not now. Let's settle things here. If we're done here, let's leave the Divide behind. If we get separated, I'll meet you above Hopeville, near the canyon wreckage. Courier. Don't see anything. Can't be far. Won't lose you again. Didn't walk through ash and hell to lose you now. Whatever it was, gone now. Comes back, we'll deal with it then. Here's something. Something nearby. Got you. End you.
If you saw their corpses, you saw mercy. Got what they deserved, coming to the Divide. The Bear and Bull, NCR Legion, came in waves, before and after, right into the invisible fires, the wind, ground, collapsing beneath them. Once under different flags, now they are equal in their hatred of the trespassers, you and I. America sleeps ahead warheads could open the gates again. You are resourceful. That machine, robot with you, can help you find the warheads you need to destroy. And their trigger, the detonator. The way ahead is below. The tools are there. The rest, up to you. The robot with you. All of them are machines, radios, old world tech reshaped with new hands, historians, couriers carrying messages. Seen them as I've walked the divide, tending other machines. That one, sealed inside the Hopeville silo. Sign America is waking up. It will follow you, obey you, carry it until we are face to face. Then there'll be no more need for it to carry my words. Hope of the old world, wrapped in fencing, covered in storm. Got new inhabitants now, other than ghosts, more recent, recruits. The divide. This place is a slice of it. Old military. Can still smell the pride and the fear. Spent too many years looking for you. Now letting you come to me. Thought carrying that ship would end you. No. You got lives in you. Hard to kill. Storms, bullets, sand and wind. Yet still you walk. For now. I'm a courier. Courier 6. Was Courier 6. Like you. And not like you. In all the ways that matter. The divide will send its worst against you. It may break you. We'll see if you're stronger. They'll lead you to your home one more time. Lead to the ending of it. Maybe remind you why you wander. Road gets rougher from here, courier. Left marks for you. Colors will tell the way if you're smart. No courier would go to the divide, but you will. And that's what sets us apart. We walk roads no other courier will walk. And for you, you'll want to see your home one last time. See what happened. You're curious. You walk, leave ruin in your path. You can't leave alone. Still, the choice is yours. What I offer is the last I offer you. I don't care if you walk the divide. Turn, walk the Mojave, fight beneath the flags. But you will wonder. If you don't, the divide will come to you and the Mojave. That will be my message to you, like the message you had for me.
No, opposite of that. It's where my tribe was taken, where another history was put to the blade, lesson taught. It is where we realize Wolpus did not approach us as equals, where we realized the wolf had come, and we watched our history die. Now it belongs to Legion, and all the death there now belongs to them as well. Not revenge, just the way of things when you own them. No damage done. Not yet. Maybe in years. Keeps the bear fenced. If Caesar can't drive it back, fire might. Only delays the end for the bull. A new wall for them to scale and cross once they're done with the Mojave. And Hoover Dam. Never again do you or any other courier and caravan need walk that route. Let the Mojave breathe without that asphalt scar raking it. A question one could have asked you not long ago, before walking the road west into the storms. Need to be here. See what was done. It's custom of the bear to never see the marks it claws in the land. Not my custom. Maybe that's why you've come too. Need to see where the missile from Ashton touched ground down below in Hopeville. courier's mile, old world wall, run red with blood of bear and bull. It'll bleed more before the sun sets on the Mojave. That place and I have a past, owe it a debt, and it owes me. If your path takes you there, no, you're not the only one. It's the wall by which this age will be measured, the gravestone of the Mojave. Old world never meant it as such. Let's see what gifts the Mojave has for us.
Pain makes for strange allies. The hate the bear and bull shared across the battlefield now turned against the divide. Few survived, intact. Many NCR were already here when the destruction happened, keeping the route east open in fear of Caesar, fear of the Legion. At the end of the high road lies Ashton, its silo. That machine with you, it can open it, wake it up, like it did the one in Hopeville. Tunnelers, predators that make their own roads beneath the ground here. Divide broke their sky, showed them the world above, and the scent of new prey. Be a slower death for the Mojave than bombs and fire, but they'll come for its people, from where they least expect, below. They bear false versions of Legate Lenuse's mask, the one Caesar fashioned for him. Thought it was an insult at first. No better now. It's shaped from divide metal, not with care and strength, but with hate. Keeps them anchored. Crude, effective, like the blades they carry. Distant mirrors of their legate, a symbol they can hold on to, while the divide tears at them.
Questions have a habit of making others. Not a camp. Vigil, maybe. Never claimed it as mine. If anyone owns the divide, your claim is stronger than mine. Don't feel like adding a campfire to the ones that already burn below. If you brought Mojave gifts, might be able to shape something for the road. The invisible fires burn here, true enough. Still, to have helped carry out such an act, then not face it, not my way. If my life burns out here, so be it. Until then, I wait and watch, see what the road brings. That's part of why I'm here. Watch them. If they attack me, try to enter the Mojave. I answer, not looking to kill them. Save them, if I can. There might be something saving in them. If not, then what I do is mercy, not murder.
At the end of the divide, through the trenches and wreckage, that's where you'll find me. My new home, here, amongst dead men. You and that machine. Keep your eyes on the tower that cuts the horizon. You'll find your way. Made it this far. Not much farther to go.
Nothing but wind, sand, ash. More may reveal itself in time. Not now. If you're determined, return. Might be something new surfaces. Wind and blood has uncovered more beneath the soil. If you want these old world relics, they're yours. Better you carry them than the marked men. My name for it. If you have a better one, you grant it. My choice in names won't carry past you and I. Lies along the road, running from the Hopeville silo, straight onto where the ground burns, and wind howls even stronger than here. The why of it. You taught me the why of it. If you believe in something enough, you must be willing to let it burn, lest it claim you. These governments of the two-headed bear, the Legion, they carry old-world ideas into an age that no longer needs them, where they cannot live. Yes, That is what you proved to me at the Divide. What is here, what you showed me. It is enough. You don't understand. You will. Comes down to perspective, how far one's walked, and what they've left behind. If you challenge this moment, let's hear your perspective. If my words are all you have, let's hear them. Can do that, and one better. Just enough around to mix some. Here, might make the twin mother's history live a little longer. You carrying it. When you drink it, down it all in one shot, or your stomach's not going to want to keep going after the second drink. History. Cures a wound, leaves the bitterness that caused it. The twin mothers were always about lessons. Caesar taught them the last one, though. So that's it for them. Recipe still exists. Legion uses it on forced marches with wounded soldiers. Wouldn't have made it through Crimson River Trail a few years back without it. Losing so much blood early on was a Cazador feast. Enough Xander root and Brock flour along the trail, though. The Legion was able to keep pace and get where they were going. Depends what history has to say about them. There's a lot the land can provide, if you know the road that led to it. Mojave's got ways of healing most ills. If not, some tribes usually found a way you didn't expect, like healing powders. Tribes back west only use Xander and Brock flour. There's a way the twin mothers in the east used to brew it, though. Called it bitter drink. Mixed up the Xander and Brock in a bottle. Added some kick to it, so your head doesn't get all clouded. Nothing more than I've already shared. We'll have to keep with what we know. Tired of history's lessons anyway. Walk there sometimes. Keep the walks short. Still, it's important to see. Something else to answer for. Occasionally sift through the dust, the buildings. See if I can find some history, marks of America. If you want them, keep them. You've earned it. Nothing to be gained by me holding them, and more will surface in time. Need to be here, see what was done, in the Divide, in Hopeville, the Courier's Mile.
An ending to this road, you and I. First, you need to find your way. At the end, I'll be waiting. Even as the fires here burned them from within, the winds of the Divide tore their skin, exposed them, screaming to the sky. And just as the Divide tears at them, so they tear at each other, for sport, like some tribal scarification. Falling back to their history, maybe. No matter what they suffer, the radiation, fire of the Divide sustains them, makes them stronger. You may not know my voice, but we've walked the same places. The long 15 to Prim. That wasn't the only road you ever walked. I've been to your home, the place you kept returning to. May not be the place you were born, or the place you gave life to. Same thing. People forget couriers can keep communities alive until the day they're gone and their breath catches in their throat. Left marks on them too. Not bear, not bull. Now, radiations marked them, made them equal in history's eyes. As vicious as the storms are, these shadows of Legion, of NCR, silhouettes of things to come. These new inhabitants, not natives, most of them, came with duty, purpose, ready to kill each other. The Divide was stronger. Words are the only way couriers meet. Sometimes it's the paths we walk, but no, we've never spoken before now. There's truth in your words, in what I've seen of their tactics, movements, recovery. Those wounds, they couldn't live otherwise. The Divide skin from many of them. Maybe the radiation is the only thing keeping them walking. They camp near silos, warheads. No way to cleanse the radiation. Makes them hard to kill there. Have to draw them out. They're more beasts than men now. They clutch at their pain as they clutch at their weapons. Anchors them. America sleeps in the divide. Giants beneath the earth. You saw one locked in the silo beneath you. There's more. Only takes a few of them, locked below ground, to tear apart the earth and cast dust, sand, ash into the skies above. You'll see the extent, the miles of it, soon enough. You need to see it. Walk it. Wasn't always like this. Old world wreckage, nothing new. After that, something you had your hand in. You'll walk it soon enough. There's truth in your words. In what I've seen of their tactics, movements, recovery. Those wounds. They couldn't live otherwise. The divide winds have torn the skin from many of them. Maybe the radiation is the only thing keeping them walking. They camp near silos, warheads. No way to cleanse the radiation. Makes them hard to kill there. Have to draw them out. They're more beasts than men now. They clutch at their pain as they clutch at their weapons. Anchors them. America sleeps in the divide. Giants beneath the earth. You saw one locked in the silo beneath you. There's more. Only takes a few of them, locked below ground, to tear apart the earth and cast dust, sand, ash into the skies above. Wasn't always like this. Old world wreckage, nothing new. After that, something you had your hand in. You'll walk it soon enough. For now, eyes alert, watch the streets below. There's still life in the divide. Threats, other than the storms and wind. New inhabitants. For the two-headed bear, NCR, they don't have symbols in the same way Legion does. They revere their mines and explosives, guns. That is their religion. Death from afar. Take pride in it.
Done with blame. And Caesar was big on strength making right. Seems to me you proved that philosophy to him. If he was too weak to stop you, too weak to defend himself, then he needed to die with his beliefs. Names die twice to history. If the West thanks you, the East won't in time. Fall apart. Back to the tribes, maybe. Too soon to tell what will happen. Let history weigh what you've done, if it gets that far. Unless you do the same for the legate that comes, you'll get no thanks from me. When that monster arrives, he's not going to have a leash. Kaiser could command him. Not now. The bear is going to burn, and burn slow. Names die twice to history. If the West thanks you, the East won't in time. Fall apart. Back to the tribes, maybe. Wasn't his time, and wouldn't have been how he wanted to die. Not how most would have wanted him to die either, bear or bull. He let another hold a knife to him. If he was weak enough to allow the knife so close to his neck, maybe it needed to be his ending. Caesar would be history's hypocrite if he was angry about what happened. I'm not one for it either. Seems you just proved his philosophy to him. If he'd been stronger, he'd be alive, and we wouldn't be talking.
Power isn't strength. Power can wall off someone when they believe it's freed them. Houses power. You've seen the wall around Vegas. He gains more power. That wall will grow. The Mojave will become Vegas. But it's more light than strength. He'll You'll see the way of it soon enough. It's not Legion, the Legion I know, but they change, even in small ways as they march west with every tribe they break. But yes, last I heard, you needed a weapon between your legs to carry one for Caesar. Yes, and any courier could tell you the same. See it everywhere. The bear. Bear's too busy carving up the Mojave with knives, roads, borders, and how things should be, to see how it is. They're stretched thin, can't protect their front lines, their towns. Think paper's power, radio means control. All of it, useless. The idea of a machine bearing a message new to you. Thought that was how House relayed all his messages, through his robots. The machine. The robot. No, not Legion. Less history than that. No, not new. And not new among all those in the shadow of the bear. You know their flag. A bear with two heads. Symbols an old world one. Had one head then. Better off for it. Their flag speaks to their spirit. They're split like any two-headed animal, trying to go in different directions, ending up nowhere. In a Mojave, that'll only get you sand between your fingers, or over your grave. Trying doesn't hold much weight with me. Legion doesn't try to kill people. They do it. The bear kills people trying to protect them. Irony's sharp, and Legion, their flag may be old, but it's not at war with itself. You see, true, not scavengers. It's what they wore before this all happened. What do you... I see the way of it. Have fight in you at least. Save it for the road ahead. You haven't seen enough of the Legion yet to see what they worship, what they hold on to, even after what happened to them. Maybe not. Maybe that's why you fell in with the bear in the first place. Can't see what you're following. Not going to convince a deaf man with words. Shown strength coming in here. If strength's what you respect, then you belong east of the Colorado. That's the wrong word. Theater is better. The families, the bear, all on a stage. House. He's the one watching. The why. You'd know better than I would. If you don't, you will. You've seen the wall. Safe. No. What's inside? That's what worries me. Inside, old world's waking up. No facts or history I've heard tells me that city ever went to sleep. And that makes me think. The blue of the Mojave skies isn't like the rest of the world. Don't hear a Geiger ticking there. More to fear from predators than rats. The city, the whole Mojave, wasn't hit by bombs. Been my call. Vegas would be one of the first pieces of the old world to burn. Someone protected it. Wasn't chance. Wasn't luck. Something larger. Yet they let the rest of the world suffer. And they'll do it again. Believe that. Vegas runs. I've seen what it's done to those who oppose it. And I've seen its messengers. Families of Vegas were once tribes. Got drunk on the Vegas lights. The spirit had bled out of them. Old world history under a different flag. Whatever traditions or rituals they had, most likely squeezed out of them by now, turned into something else. And if not, then I'm afraid what's going to happen when they come creeping back. The high road, not the divide yet. Many more miles to walk, but you got this far. You and that machine that shadows you. Wasn't sure if both of you'd make it. Above, then below the underpass. Vegas is old world, filled with old world ghosts. And ghosts need the living to do their work. That to lose itself. It's a dance. I don't know its purpose. You've seen the wall. It's what's inside that worries me. Your future with House has two roads. The road the tribals in Vegas want, their spirits crushed. Or your face on a robot servant, smiling forever in a dead casino. There's future in neither. Maybe that's why you chose Vegas. The lights can blind, make people forget themselves, their convictions, vows. Not going to waste time trying to make the blind see. Took a chance coming here, same as I did. Now we'll see how it plays out. No, only seeing his works, those he's broken with light and gold, his messengers. But everything in Vegas speaks of someone who can't let it go. House takes a shovel to history's graves, props up the dead, then puts words in their mouths. The tribes don't even know how they were broken. Not a world I want to be a part of, going through motions until we're all smiling faces on some robot's screen. For now, find the trigger for the warheads buried in Hopeville. Use it to keep moving and keep alive. Who are you who do not know your history? You came all this way for answers. Only currency I have, nothing else to be gained. Could turn around, walk away at any time. If history matters to you, you'll need to earn it. Any laws of mine I have already cast away in the divide. They're lost to you. You want to know more? Keep walking. I'll give answers as you go, not before. Walk the east too, before the bull came. Then, much like the Mojave before the bear, tribes, towns, clutching to life. Bull did a better job. Mojave and the Divide are the only places I've walked. They'll start emerging throughout the Mojave in time. Might be years, probably less. They breed fast, hunt in groups, more than enough to bring down the strongest in the Mojave, once they draw blood. Seen them tear apart Deathclaws. Deathclaw might get some, but the rest will swarm it, tear it apart, like Denver hounds. Death will come from below. In the Divide, need to watch the sky and the ground. Mojave will be easy prey for them. Mojave needs to survive itself first. Does that, tunnelers will be next on the list. Another city fallen to nations in the east. Not important. Doubt you'll ever walk that far. You'd need the land to sustain you. Mojave and the Divide are the only places I've walked. Makes sense. Truth favors that. Matches the history of this place. Were signs they were here for a long time. Before marked men. Before what happened to the Divide cracked their sky. If so, they were buried deep. Might have been born the day America's embers started to settle. Seen worse things twisted by radiation. Don't know the history of them. Only their patterns. How they hunt. Still, takes a long time for such patterns to develop. A longer history than what happened here. No, recounting history. It means everything. Even if you deny it, cast it aside, that speaks to what you are, proves what happened here. Home isn't where you were born into this world. You taught me that. Part of your message, whether you meant it or not, can be a place of mind. A moment where you know who you are, the history of it. And they can be places you breathe life into. Mojave and the Divide are the only places I've walked. And you've forgotten everything. Careless with futures then, as you are now in the Mojave. Not anymore. If one existed, the two-headed bear would have claimed it, and it tried to.
Words are not enough to bear the weight of your flag. If you follow anything at all, speeches are things of NCR, words without strength. Your actions have shown nothing. Your flag will burn. The Mojave will follow. Your actions have carried strength. There is conviction in your words, enough to rival a legate. Perhaps, Kaiser, you believe what you say. Your actions have carried strength. More importantly, not for House, but for the families on the Strip. If you speak for the two-headed bear, I'll hear your words, even if I will be the only one to hear them. If you believe it should not die this day, then answer me why. If you feel I do not know the Legion's strength, then I will listen. If the ghosts of Vegas have come from behind their wall to speak for the West, I'll hear their words. If you believe that Vegas does not deserve to die as the bear does, then answer me why.
All roads lead back to one's home. Not your birthplace, maybe, but home. Many in the Mojave think the divide's nothing but canyon and storm. Wasn't always. There was life, a town farther west. Not talking about an old world town like Hopeville. More recent. Something you saw in your lifetime. It had the name, the Divide, too. But rather than cracks in the earth, it was a road from the west into the Mojave, a supply line. Took a courier to make that road. You. Back then, you saw the road with eyes facing east. This time, the divide's in the other direction. And if your eyes try to make sense of it when you reach it, home's not what it was.
The divide belongs to history now. The Mojave awaits.
You gave it a name. What was it to you? Companion, slave, weapon, all of that. Nothing compared to its primary function. The machine you brought is mine now. It's coming home. I'll reduce it to parts, just enough to function, to be aware of what's happening. Want to hear the answer of it? Not just history's answer. Your answer for what happened here. The community that was once here, and the package you brought, both had markings of the divide, markings of America. You've seen the marks, the symbol, as early as the Hopeville silo, maybe. Carried it etched on your weapons. The divide, its buildings, its people, were built around those same markings, surrounded them here. Markings like the flag on my back when I followed your road to the divide those years ago. I saw the symbol I wore all around me. An old world symbol, strong to survive here. Its people strong. Outlast the bear, outlast the bull. Promise of something better. Kaiser was right to want it dead. NCR was right to want to rake their claws in it. Seeing it changed me. Just as seeing Hoover Dam changed Kaiser and the NCR. Seeing it end changed me too. The soldiers of the bear, they were dead already. Their symbol diseased. Deserved to die as my brothers did at Boulder City. Mines, bombs. I carry nothing for them. Their deaths here were a mercy compared to the ones that still walk the divide. My family, my tribe lives. Its history died long ago, fell shadow of the bull, consumed by another symbol. No, this isn't about family or any common blood. It's blood shared by acts, not by chance. There was hope here, another chance, a new nation stirring to life, a place I could have set my flag. Not the America of old, but something larger than the tribes of the East, something larger than the houses of the West, something better. The divide could have bridged both, like Hoover Dam. Now, like the dam, it's too covered in blood to see what it could have been. You gave life to this place. I followed your road here, saw the divide. You led me here so that I could see. Then you brought it to an end. The Legion who died here, they didn't deserve to die, like those that died in the fires of Boulder City. Bombs, Hanlon's gifts. Their deaths were mercy compared to those who still walk. Any who die beneath the flag of the bull, their death should be in battle. But no, the dead number more than my brothers. My history isn't revenge or hate. The road that brought us both here isn't about that. It's about the message you carried, the one in that package, whether you knew it or not. The message that one can kill a nation, can kill a symbol, and all that gather beneath its flag. I don't blame you for the divide. I blame you for what you made me see. Now you will see what you brought to the Mojave, and that will be my message to you. The soldiers of the bear, they were dead already. Their symbol, diseased, deserved to die as my brothers did at Boulder City. Mines, bombs. I carry nothing for them. Their deaths here were a mercy compared to the ones that still walk the divide. As for my brothers in the Legion, they deserved to die in battle, as do all beneath the flag of the bull. But no, the dead number more than my brothers. Accident, ignorance is a choice. The chip, a choice. As for anger, it is what I carry for the dead and all that come here. The supply line, the artery for the West. I have seen the blood of NCR at Legion hands many times. I carry no hatred for duty, if that's what this was. The divide was more than that. Its people more than that. The nations of the Mojave, cracked and broken as the divide. Its people, the same. I have walked at Caesar's command across the east into the west, far enough to know Caesar's word did not drive me, far enough to see the end. You've seen it. No courier, whatever their flag, can ignore it. Why you didn't stay in the west, why you wondered. There's no future in the bear or bull. The bear is diseased, barely clings to life. And the bull, when the Legion reaches the sea, it will turn on itself and die. Killing one will end both, and you made me see how one could do it. Your ignorance, carelessness, can be used with a purpose. divide was more than that. Its people more than that. Then legion kills a legion. Farther you walk from the flag of the bull, the more west creeps into you. I know that now. Doesn't change what was done. Legion who died here. Legion doesn't know your history. I do. They find out what happened here, how many of their own died. They'll want an answer. Promises to keep. Courier shall not kill courier. Always let them live. Spread the word. If you feel its loss, remember, you could have turned away at any time, gone back home, and none of this would have happened. But you had to make one last delivery, and that's why I knew you'd come, courier. Couldn't stay away. It's who you are. It's a messenger, like us, and it shares our history. What's inside that machine? That's all that mattered. All the machines here, made of wreckage from the divide, and all that was brought here. Inside its frame, it carries the message you brought here, and it'll do what it was programmed to do. Whatever it can to get home. The giants here will listen to it. I'll bring the divide to your home, your nation. Let its flag burn, just like you let the divide burn. Big Mountain Access Code, Ulysses. Command override. Navarro.
There are other legates, and the one before Linnaeus couldn't take Hooverdam for Kaiser. Bear and Bull shed too much blood there to let it go. Can't stop you from going. Wouldn't. A warning, though. The legate Linnaeus, whether Kaiser stands or not, Linnaeus will come. Linnaeus, the butcher, monster, terror of the East. Not even his slaves have seen his face. Struck them blind so they can't. Wears a mask. Don't even know if it's the same man. He put Colorado to the sword. Broke the hangdogs by throwing their hounds upon the flames, so they might burn forever in the afterlife.
Search history. Might find meaning in it. It's just a name. You have no idea who I am. You'll know by the end. No, I couldn't. And I'm thinking you can't kill me either. If you did, you'd answer for it, just as I would. Let the land do the killing for you. That's one of the things you taught me. Killing is personal. So's vows, promises. Last bit's more important to me than the first. Talking. Words won't settle this. The road will. And the end. Not my given name. Close enough. Took it from history. Found it in a book. It's an old world name. Ulysses lived a long time ago. Long before the old world set fire to itself. He made a mark without being myth. Had to fight during a time when his world had two flags, and he had to make them one. Heard tales of you walking the Mojave. Casting off your disguise, yet you carried that ship, determined to take it to Vegas. Not Kaiser. You and that ship deserve each other. 29 fewer coins than other traders have carried. By history's mark. I hold Legion to be my brothers, even as misguided as they are. And you, more so than most. You will. I'll show the Mojave, Bear and Bull the way of it. How couriers can break nations. What happened here can happen again. You already proved it. What you did full yet. Not nearly enough. If you had been there when it happened, if you had seen the divide break, you would know it. You carry death wherever you go. If the Mojave doesn't know it yet, it will. It was from the west, from deep in NCR, whether made by them or not. It came here through your hands. Already heard you once, long ago and loud enough for history to hear. Tired of your messages. Still, curiosity drove you this far. Let's see what else it can do. The tapes. Didn't think those would be found. Weren't worth the words anyway. Not like I'd forget what happened. Had the tech from the big empty recorder a woman gave me on its last legs. Didn't survive the road. Cast it and the tapes aside. If you heard them, they're of no consequence. Ramblings. Reminders for a man who doesn't need them. All these roads that you walked, these packages that you carried, think it wasn't your choice? Twisted ears are dead, lost at dry wells, died in Ulysses' smile. Won't discuss their fate with you. Not now. Their past is mine to keep. Walk farther. See me face to face. You might earn more. Now let the words keep you without me adding to them. Caesar's orders. Every supply line gets cut. Every community that feeds the bear, cut its throat. Starve the Mojave. No, when they come this far, they aren't legion. They walk as couriers, like we do. And the divide is the reason no legion has been seen. None belong to Caesar, not in this place. The ones that came were following orders. You know the why of it. If you don't, I do, and that's enough. Shows trust only walks so far west. Earned more than that, though, getting this far. We walk the same road, carry the same colors. Can't break that by making the road red. Want more than that? Walk the divide. Answers will come. Closer you get to home. You and that machine. Maybe not. Who's to say? You, perhaps, found them, heard them after I cast them aside. Maybe there was purpose in that. If they matter, if history matters, we'll see at the end of the road. Words lost to history wouldn't have left them on the road otherwise. Maybe not. Who's to say? You, perhaps, found them, heard them after I cast them aside. Maybe there was purpose in that. If they matter, if history matters, we'll see at the end of the road. Words lost to history wouldn't have left them on the road otherwise. Machine couldn't speak by itself. Needed a terminal to access it, like the terminals in the silos here, or the machine with you. When it was connected, it started speaking, and the divide answered. You've seen the divide, walked it, farther than I thought you would. Not sure how much farther you have in you. If you need answers, speak. You've earned them. Even if only you and I can carry them from here. If I have the answers, you've earned them.
Our enemies gather outside, shadows of the bear and a bull. They will have found their way in, just as you did. If we cannot prevent what comes, then let us make our stand here. Two couriers together at the divide. It was always my intention, in case I could not kill you, the marked men would flood this place, cut off your escape. And you think that you have the strength enough to hold up NCR long enough that Vegas may live again? Even if you speak for Vegas and its ghosts, nothing you can do can prevent the missile's launch. Convincing me changes nothing. History has proven this. Our history. No, your answer is not enough. They deserve what comes. Vegas is born of the corrupt, the blind, lost that gather to it. Without them, it would fall dark. You believe, yet you have been blinded by the wrong symbol. Let its light give you what strength it can. Today marks its end. It may be that as much destruction has been written in the earth here, you may build something else, as you built the divide. You have spoken truly. There is a shadow of a nation behind you, the hope of a people, yet it may not matter. The divide still stands against us, yet you follow nothing at all. You have walked the Mojave. Let the shadow of flags fall upon you, yet walk carelessly, no allegiance, your words empty as your actions. And you think that you have this strength, enough for all of NCR. The West is not the divide, and nothing you can do can prevent the missile's launch. Convincing me changes nothing. History has proven this. Our history. No, your answer is not enough. They deserve what comes and should answer for it, as you should. The bear is a thing of the people that gather to it, as are all symbols. You believe, yet you believe in the wrong symbol. Let it give you what strength it can. Soon it will be no more. So you resort to trickery. You were hoping that you could deceive me, reveal that somehow I can stop all this. Fire will rain on the west and the east as intended. And the last words of the messenger of the bull, nothing but lies. The west will burn as intended, and Vegas will follow. The last words of its messenger were not for the people of the city, but lies and deceit.
Buried in the divide, part of it now. Wherever it is, it's been silent. If it spoke again, we'd know. Blame. Accident. The names you hang on this. Courier. You carry death wherever you go. Mojave knows. Or will. I'll see you answer for this. The road doesn't end here. There's more to come. I swear to you. I've walked the east. You've walked the west. More than I have. Circle Junction, Reno, Vault City. Word a few at Fort Ardash. Fort abandoned. Even further west than that, Brahmin drives on the big circle. Whatever you saw out there wasn't enough to make you stay. Maybe the markings on the package reminded you of the road home. Not the name I'd give it. Not the name the dead would give it. Soldiers of the Bear died here. Legion died too. My brothers, still dying. Both of them, all around us. None of the people that lived here survived. Yet all of the West and the East, they hold on as the divide tears at them. Revenge isn't the message I have for you. More than that, courier. Should have died there, but now that I know you live, the machines here parts of the one that shadows you began to build themselves. Then others. They only take what parts they find in the divide, never roam beyond it. Can't even leave the silos without a human shadow. Like hounds. Maybe they saw the flag on my jacket, thought I was of America. If so, history saved me. The sign. The dam. That old world wall. The dam. That old world wall. The dam. That old world wall. Might have been. Once. To the divide they came. In the divide they rest. I know you. What we have in common, though, isn't in the words we traded. Meant to. No. Never. Your burden. There was death in that package. And while the chip is important to old world ghosts, no. You are more dangerous than that chip ever could be. Weigh you down long enough to let death catch up to you. But you survived. Maybe why you found each other. Little piece of the old world speaking to you, waiting for you to wake something else up with it. We all have death following us. Only a question of how close. You dodged it for a time. You're good at that. Talent for it. With that chip weighing you down, a burden. Lets death move a little faster without me pulling the trigger. Promises to keep to others. And the Mojave's dangerous enough left to the land. The land has its way. If I wanted you dead, we would have met sooner. Not sure that's the way this ends. Might be that history needs to have its say. If not, then messages will do. Might have been. Once. To the divide they came. In the divide, they rest.
Let's make something new from the old. Antivenom's helpful around the Mojave with the bark scorpions. Even one sting can kill you. Tunneler bite can be just as bad. My tribe, Twisted Hairs, had a better way than antivenom if you act fast. Snakebite tourniquet cuts off the venom. No need to scavenge glands and blood or drink that mess. Part of the reason we wore our hair like we did. Like I do now. Here's some for the road. Trick to making it is not hard. Get bit, hook and twist it. Fast as blinking. Doesn't give poison time to sink in. House spoke. Acted through machines. Sometimes can judge a man by his messengers. Sometimes the messengers judge him. Wonder what happens to Vegas now. The tribes, families. We'll see. If you saw a house, you didn't see a man. An old world spirit, perhaps. Filthy, diseased. If so, killing him was mercy, not cruelty. Let House sleep in his chamber. Let him dream of the old world he remembers, and keep those memories where they belong. In his head. What you did was for the best. The old world died long ago. Anyone who believes they can make it return, and everything will be as it was. It is a dangerous belief. Needs to be silenced before their belief spreads. Linnaeus carries all the terrors of the East with him. He's the myth, the weapon the Legion needs. When he arrives, he'll fall on Hoover Dam like a hammer. Break the bear in two. There are other legates, and the one before Linnaeus couldn't take Hoover Dam for Kaiser. 19 tribes could not do it. All the lights in Vegas cannot. Then there is nothing more to be done. The Mojave awaits. Yes, Graham was broken on the wall of the dam. That legate's mistake is he didn't die trying. His name was Joshua Graham, answered for his failure. Twice, some say. Kaiser had him burned and cast into the earth, into the largest canyon you've ever seen, watched the flames trail all the way to the bottom. Somehow, Joshua walked away from that, went beyond Kaiser's gaze. His footsteps trailing fire, walking from one hell, maybe, to another. When one is ruined like Graham was, sometimes home is the only place left. If so, he went to New Canaan, Kaiser's anger written on him like a book. When one is ruined, like Graham was, home can be the only place left. If true, he went to New Canaan, Kaiser's anger written on him like a book. Kaiser's orders to the Frumentari were to watch for him, find Graham, kill him. Didn't try. Could've. No good would have come of it. Graham earned his life and his nature. It'll kill him more surely than any blade of the Legion. So, if you've heard word of it or seen sign of him, let it keep. Let his history keep. To take Hoover Dam, Legion will need something as big as the old world itself, another symbol forged by history. His strength lies in his title, and it is his weakness. He will not fight a losing battle and destroy what he represents. You do not need to convince him alone. Draw upon history. The past of other legates are not filled with victories. Remind Linnaeus of this. Put the idea of loss in him. Convince him the bear will not be the 20th tribe beneath his heel. It will make him pause like nothing on earth.
War. Call it that. Our part in it. Ulysses wasn't made for the flag he followed. He wasn't made for peace. That's the lesson. If you follow a symbol to the end, ask yourself what that means. More important, ask what happens after the end. Fighting. Yes, but different weapons than you're used to. You're wasting time. Stalling won't help you. History. Yes. Ulysses walked a hard road. A general, like Caesar and Oliver. He was brown and stubborn, gave him strength on the battlefield. He led his side to victory, turned 2 flags into one. That's when he lost. When the fighting was done, the sickness took hold. Lesson there. If history's to be believed, one you should heed. All right, courier. If the why of it matters to you. What kind of world would this be if courier killed courier? You've got enough distance ahead of you. Save your breath for the road. Don't waste it on words. NCR saw the worth in that road you made. Staked a claim, whether it was wanted there or not. True elsewhere in the Mojave. And where the bear tries to cling to life, the Legion comes, bearing messages. Some brought by blade, others by couriers. You knew what was coming, as sure as I know what's coming for you. This time you carry the burden. Walk west into the sun and keep walking until it dies. There, I'll be waiting. Never would have known the divide had it not been for you. The road you made with your tracks again and again. You were the only one willing to make the journey to and from here. A hard road. Kept the land before the divide alive through seasons, storms. Can't have been just a job. Was something more to you. Don't feel for a place that hard unless it's home. Wrong. No. I know the truth of it. It was you walking that road that kept the divide alive. It grew from what you did. Settlers, camps, filling that old world city. Chance for a new nation, new beginning, new way of thinking. Could have breathed new life into the Mojave, bridging east, west, like Hoover Dam, but not old world. Something you made. Road was a supply line. You delivered a package, had markings that matched those in the divide. Not all, but enough. Military markings from someplace the bear had savaged in the west. Maybe seeing those markings on it reminded you of home, made you carry it. Didn't stop you though, like carrying the trip to Vegas. Old world death in your hand. Pieces of the old world like that just need someone careless enough to take them where they need to go, to do their killing. No, you are. Cut off your retreat, your supply line. Ashton missile, turn Hopeville into a furnace. You could walk back, still can, but the divide will mark you. Sickness will set in. Not immediate, maybe, but in time. Slow burn, a little faster than before. The way ahead and below leads to the heart of the divide. And there, you and I, we'll have an ending to things. No, I am certain. What I hadn't known was that you still lived after the divide. The two-headed bear made its claim, dug its claws into the trail you made. For once, it seemed like it might succeed. Cut a route to the Mojave. Couldn't let NCR stay in the divide. Trade route, road the military could use. Can't have two roads into the Mojave. Not after the work we'd done to cut off New Canaan. Other routes, killing caravans. All we'd done to make the West bleed. No, they don't know the history of it, so send others to find out, more to die. At the hands of their brothers, the divide has claimed. It doesn't matter. The bear's reach was cut off. Now only the long 15 remains. Once that's finished, Mojave will be under the flag of the bull. Did. It was madness. Asked them a question in anger. Got an answer. More than I expected. The tape has the telling of it. Don't need me adding to the questions already there. Answer told me what happened here at the divide, the how of it. And that was enough. Spent years looking for you. If you head back to the Mojave, it's like nothing's changed. Can live with that. Had to. Wasn't sure if history would matter to you. If it doesn't, that answers my question. If you turn your back on your home, so be it. I'll remain here in the divide for you to return. And you will. Assassin. If killing needs to be done, I'll face my victims, not kill from a distance like you. All right, done with words then. Won't get you where you need to go. Didn't know, but couriers can travel anywhere. They make roads into places no one else will go, guarded or not. Was going to watch, see. The Legion. Thought it might get into the community through me, just as I'd found the way by following you. But you struck first, shattered the ground, and let your home burn instead. Nearly killed me, and everyone here, walking or still. Bear made its shadow felt here, more than I could handle. Heavy guard, watchful. I watched, waited. Waited too long, hesitated. A courier isn't meant to stay in one place for long. And then you came, with the package. History. And as I watched, studied the people, the flag, markings, thought perhaps, if I got rid of the bear, what you had given life to might come again.
Didn't think I'd be breathing to hear you say that. Message isn't important. Meaning is. Had to speak of it, in case the words got lost in paper, ink, or others' voices. Maybe even yours in time. Still meant for you. Courier to courier. belongs to you now, or history. Doesn't matter.
The tapes. Didn't think those would be found. You know the divide better than I thought. Had tech from the big empty. Recorder a woman gave me. Didn't survive the road on its last legs. Cast it and the tapes aside. Weren't worth the words anyway. Not like I'd forget what happened. If you heard them. Nothing but ramblings. Reminders for a man who doesn't need them. Probably more lying from here to the divide.
The divide belongs to history now. The Mojave awaits. The divide belongs to history now. The Mojave awaits. The divide belongs to history now. The Mojave awaits.
You scavenge words. Things I have no need of. No history there worth recounting. Scour the divide. Claw at it for meaning. But my words will give you no answer. They won't help you understand what happened here. And they won't help you understand me. Keep them. Listen. Study them. They won't help you here in the divide. Words lost to history. Wouldn't have left them on the road otherwise. Maybe not. Who's to say? You, perhaps, found them, heard them after I cast them aside. Maybe there was purpose in that. If they matter, if history matters, we'll see at the end of the road. Words lost to history. Wouldn't have left them on the road otherwise. Won't hold it. Divide taught me you don't need to. Just cut it off. Then the Mojave will fall. Bear will starve. Its flag will burn. It spent too long dying. The long 15 will end it. It was a piece of machinery. Military, holding memories. Codes, maybe. When it woke, made these sounds. Words. When it spoke, the divide became fire. The ground tore apart like the skies. Through it all, kept calling out. Maybe calling for home. You know what it was. Had symbols of America on it. New markings from after the Great War. Thought it might be America come again. Promise of another future. Another flag. The tapes. Didn't think those would be found. Weren't worth the words anyway. Not like I'd forget what happened. Had the tech from the big empty. Recorder a woman gave me. On its last legs. Didn't survive the road. Cast it and the tapes aside. If you heard them, there's no consequence. Ramblings. Reminders for a man who doesn't need them. You scavenge words. Things I have no need of. No history there worth recounting. Scour the divide. Claw at it for meaning. But my words will give you no answer. They won't help you understand what happened here. And they won't help you understand me. Keep them. Listen. Study them. They won't help you here in the divide. Words lost to history. Wouldn't have left them on the road otherwise. I know that now. Doesn't change what was done. The Legion who died here. Even if you were Legion, you would answer for those deaths by Caesar's law. I knew of you, your name, your road to and from the divide, what that meant for the Legion. We never spoke. Knew you through your actions. Knew you'd walked the West as I'd walked the East. Learned different lessons. And I would never have discovered the divide without you. Caesar's orders. Sometime before I realized the why of it. just you, all couriers. No telling how many were Legion, maybe all of them. Wasn't sure about you until the divide. All the NCR burning, that much death. It bears the mark of a Legion hand. But you killed like NCR, like Hanlon, with mines, bombs, missiles, killed Legion along with the bear, like a coward kills from a distance. If you were Legion, then NCR beat you. The West changed you. As I said before, it's of no consequence. Never intended you to find them. Never intended you to hear them. Questions in those tapes I still haven't found answers to. You won't be the one to give them. Really? Who's to say the truth of it? You? No. You walked from this, turned your back on it. Now you and others will answer for it. I'll start with the West. Let that burn. Then, if the East falters after, I'll bring the divide there as well. Burn away the flags. Begin again. No matter now, Bear couldn't hold the divide. You and that machine are all that remains of NCR here. Rest fell to radiation, fire, and what burrows below.
No. The paths we've walked, the roads and the flags above them carry equal blame. No, not the Mojave, the West, all that's been built since America died. Same symbols as before the war, now a flag carried by a tribe of children. You seek to use your own crimes to prevent mine. There is a strange honor in that. Perhaps the shadow of the bull does walk with you. The West, the East, they are not the divide, and nothing you can do can prevent the missile's launch. Convincing me changes nothing. History has proven this. Our history. You answer me with questions, doubt. You are strong enough to come here, but not strong enough to speak for all of the Legion. This is the ending they deserve. A flag is a thing of the people that gather to it, as are all symbols. You believe, yet you do not see that killing a symbol with its own weapon carries justice of its own, just as it will when the East dies as well. No, now there is purpose. I believe you when you say you were careless. The divide, the chip, the machine you brought here. Many messages can be taken from that, intended or not. What I do now is an act of conviction. It is enough. Blame you? No. Learned from you. Both the weapon to kill a nation and the strength to do it. You showed me a road, a way to carry my message. You've already answered for what you've done. Now the flag you follow will answer for it. No need to destroy the bear. Just cut its throat. You taught me that at the divide. Only need to cut off the supply line, the road, to watch something greater die. I'll turn the long 15 into miles of fire. Cut off the Mojave. NCR will fall back, lose Hoover Dam, and leave their throats exposed to the Legion. And knowing that you believe in a bear's sickness and have given it strength, then that gives more reason to lay waste to your homeland. The sickness of the bear already lies within you, even if you uphold the East. If there were time, I would let you kill the Legion. But no, the Legion will burn as well, without the West to challenge it. Its shore will be closer than before. It will feed on itself. Die. Without NCR to support it, Vegas will fall to the Legion, that grave of lights back to dust and ghosts, as was meant. After this, only one flag will remain over the Mojave. Let that one fly, or destroy itself. You destroyed your own homeland, seeing a nation burn. Didn't think that would matter anymore to you. There's a strength in that. Lack of attachment. Still, you're here now. If there's no more answers you want, then we'll end this. You came from the West, walked there. You carry its sickness east to the Legion, and do not believe their cause enough to honor them. What I give the Legion is a swifter death than the disease you bring. You have not the strength to bear a Legion standard. You serve Vegas ghosts, not the tribes Vegas devoured. House is not the people of Vegas. You have walked the strip, yet have seen nothing. Your carelessness for the paths you walk, it has destroyed the city you serve. NCR will burn, then the walls of Vegas will follow. Your nation will burn as intended, and the last words of its messenger were not for its people, but to beg for mercy.
Machinery, simple on the outside, computer parts, inside, more complicated. Was the only time I'd heard a machine speak in the divide, the only machine with a voice. Of course, it was your choice. You could have stayed in the Mojave, but you chose to come, couldn't let be, not in you to let go. Came for no other reason than you were curious, restless, always have been. Had to know the why of it. Now I'll show you. It was a device, a detonator, one I'd never seen before, or heard before. You carried that thing to the divide. I know because I followed you as you walked the road, watched you do it. You brought it here, to the community you built, and you are responsible for what happened after, when the device opened, started to speak. When it did, the divide answered back. Those missiles you've seen, buried in their silos, they exploded beneath the ground, cracked the landscape. Sand, ash, the dead. The divide skies became a graveyard. The why of it, Hoover Dam. The bear, NCR, couldn't be allowed to reach it easily. Long 15, Cayman, both bad enough. Kimball, Kaiser, House. You'd think that our world was that wall, cutting the Colorado. If I'd never laid eyes on it, never spoke of it, but once found, it was all Kaiser could see. That, and the flag beyond it, another symbol, big enough to challenge him. And the divide, one of the roads to it. Legion was tasked with cutting that artery. If you can't kill the bear in one stroke, bleed it, starve it. That kind of murder. It's what any of the Legion would have done. Now, the divide belongs to history. Hate? No. There's nothing to hate in metal, steel, gold, or platinum. Your machine, it's just a tool, made of wreckage of the divide. All that was brought here. When I speak in anger, courier, you'll know it. Your machine, worth no more hate than any other machine.
New Canaan, my tribe. Respect. When I asked that question, death was certain. I wasn't begging for mercy. As you defend it now, know They didn't. They were ended completely, became part of history's march. Respect the white legs, that tribe of jackals. Never the white legs. To even claim they were shadows of the twisted hairs. No, whatever words you heard, they were not mine. Back to symbols and history then. Hard to kill, like couriers. You're saying when the meaning gets lost, that what happened here can make things worse. Happened in the Mojave. Flags of the bear and the bull. There was no justice in it. It was an act of carelessness, a coward killing an idea before it had a chance. I see your meaning. You're tying this to our history. But it is different. The symbol I destroy, it has already proven itself wrong. Both survived. Pieces of them. Remnants. Nothing more. Not if you believe in what you follow. Kill no courier. Kaiser's words. I honored them. Other couriers could have been legion, like me. The truth is, you serve nothing, believe nothing, killing you, meaningless. The braids I wore, they took that from me. Thought it made them more like me, more willing to have Kaiser listen. They didn't know what the braids meant, the mark of my tribe before Kaiser came. Before Wilpus came for them at dry wells. There was death in that meeting, even while Wilpus smiled, asked for our help against the other tribes. All the while, they were looking to cast our history on the fire, and did. Another tribe, consumed by the bull. Nothing left. Nothing can prevent what comes. The missiles will launch. These questions, your words or mine, what do they matter to you? Nothing can prevent what comes. The missiles will launch. These questions, your words or mine, what do they matter to you? We fight over how we will be remembered then. No, you are wrong. Words will not bridge this. You were tricked. Still, you take pride in it. The machine, made from the parts of Navarro. It had only one message in its core, to get home at any cost. It echoes its master, and soon the missiles here will as well. If we must survive to carry its message, then that is what shall be done. I will not let America die here. But it may not matter. Even if we lay down our weapons, the divide, it still stands against us.
Legion wears many colors, east and west. You may be blinded by Vegas's light, or the promise of that chip. Or maybe you walked so far west, the bear's sickness crept into you. We'll see. Your offenses before Kaiser, the least of the crimes here. Machines, bombs, things of NCR are your tools, not mine. When we meet, this machine won't keep me from you. You struck first, not just at me, at the Legion. Or so I thought, not sure of the history of it now. Whatever flag you follow, or followed then, either way, you got too much of the bear sickness in you to live. Divides proof of that. Want more than that? Walk the road. Answers will come. Closer you get to home. You and that machine. What kind of world would this be if Courier killed Courier? You've got enough distance ahead of you.
the road you've walked, you only see a traitor before you. Not all the East will burn. The Legion does not need to be destroyed, only contained within new borders. After that, it will fall as any culture bred on war, on forward momentum. It will falter, collapse. I will start with their camps at dry wells, once my homeland. Justice, of a sort. That question. Either you walked the big empty. You found the last of the holotapes. The words are mine. Whatever answer you think they hold, you're wrong. It was a question, nothing more. If you feel there is meaning in the Whitelegs taking the braids of my tribe, what they did, insult, not respect. Both. Why do you care? I spoke those words in anger, and I did not expect an answer. All was lost. I thought it was the end. Past their graves of failed technology, they had cared about the flag they had followed, and the people beneath it, even with them dead and gone. But there's no answer in that. I do this because I care, because I believe it must be done. My words. And what do my words teach you? Kill them? No. The symbol they follow? Yes. As surely as you did at the Divide. Those are my words. After what happened with the Brotherhood, talking with them, then with the rulers of the big empty. But it is their philosophy that was flawed, their weapons used with new perspective. Those weapons can be used to kill a symbol that has already proven itself wrong. My tribe, that log, no, it concerned the Whitelegs, training them to kill. For Caesar, there is no meaning there beyond the road to New Canaan, the history of the murder of its people, in Caesar's past. I never sought to escape. I went to them to get an answer or die. Fear? No. Anger. If you've heard my words, and that's all you've taken from them, then I was right to cast them aside. If you ever had any ability to hear anything beyond your own footsteps, the Divide silenced it. Now, its voice will end you. Test it, as you test me, as if you believe there is some other road here. Nothing can prevent what comes. The missiles will launch. These questions, your words or mine, what do they matter to you? You've answered your own question, and you'll die with that question on your lips. It may be that as much destruction has been written in the earth here. There's truth in your words, but even if there's hope in change, it may not matter. The Divide still stands against us. One buried this place, yet it lived on between us. One may build it again, build others. Your history has proven this here. If you seek to anger me, words won't be enough. Your moral ground is weak here in the Divide. My home in the East, Dry Wells, is no more. It is part of the Legion. The only other home, the chance of a home, was what you built at the Divide. Then you destroyed it. What do I care for your perspective? You walk blindly, foolishly into death, your own and others. You do not rule my actions, and do not mistake my acts for yours. Our history, the Divide, that history has been written, its lessons learned. There's nothing more to be dug from these cracks in the earth, no more fury to be torn from its sky. If those are your last words, they are weak ones. actions would have had more voice. There's nothing more to be said between us. No words of yours will change what is about to happen. There is truth in that. History has proven it. But Mojave's proof that no homeland is sacred until the larger symbols are destroyed. Whatever is built, the bear, bull, even Vegas, will tear it apart, convert it either with purpose or by accident. What do you seek to gain by telling me this? If you think that the symbol I wear is a weakness, there is nothing inside the machine except the means to awaken the missiles in the divide. That is its only message. You lie. There was only one message in the machine, only one message in the package you brought. The divide bore the symbol of America, as did the package from Navarro. The origins of the machine is of no importance.
You already tried once. Won't give you another chance. Yes, and it did to you once. I'm sure of it. If that's all that drives you, it won't last. The Legion, it won't last either. No, it is a title you earned, Legion or not. You have betrayed more than you know. Accident, ignorance is a choice. The chip, a choice. As for anger, it is what I carry for the dead and all that come here. Legion died here as well. What you did, that's not all that cuts at me.
I believed in what I followed then. Kill no courier. Caesar's words. I honored them. Other couriers could have been Legion, like me. Now, our allegiances are reversed. No, the West, the East, it doesn't matter. The death of either one kills the other, Vegas along with it. The West shall answer first. I cannot go back. I wandered too far. Far enough to know my home was lost to me. I could no more go back than you could return to the West, to NCR, and all its sickness. You walked the West, didn't stay. You know the reason. The bear grows without structure, follows a symbol without knowing its history. I'll finish history's work. If the divide couldn't kill you, perhaps these spears of the old world can. Let's end this, courier. You and I, here with the old world flag as witness. You don't see, listen, even when it's all around you. No matter if I nailed it into your head like a gift from Caesar. You brought the divide to life, courier. You walked the road, brought the bear, then the bull, brought me, following your tracks. And when I saw the divide you made, I saw a second chance, a new way of thinking. My world, no longer the East, and you brought the West in that package, destroyed it all, nearly killed me, flesh and spirit. You destroyed something larger than the bear, greater than the bull. And even when you could have turned away, you brought it again in that machine. You destroyed a nation taking its first breath, a place that could have been my home. Now, I'll destroy yours. The divide belongs to history now. The Mojave awaits. Can hear the weight in your feet. You're bound for that old world wall, Hoover Dam. Maybe not now. In time, I'll finish history's work. If the divide couldn't kill you, perhaps these spears of the old world can. Let's end this, courier. You and I. Here, with the old world flag as witness.
Taking your chances coming here. Just like bringing the Lord of Vegas his tribute, bending your knee to old world ghosts. You and that chip deserve each other. 29 less coins than other traitors have carried, if history's true. Now see the road the old world paves, and what the lights of New Vegas promise, if they haven't blinded your eyes. There's your signal. Faint, but there. You came. Good. Curious, maybe. You walked the Mojave without a flag on your back. That'll end soon. Can't walk the long 15 and not have a nation's shadow fall on you. Maybe you just need to be tested, or you believe in nothing. We'll see. There's your signal. Faint, but there. Charging ahead like the rest of our brothers, blood in your eyes. There you are. You went quiet for a time. Knew killing the bear wouldn't prove easy. You and your machine. You survived. There's a lesson here in the divide. Old world history about paving and intentions could teach the Republic a thing or two, if they listened. They have an idea of trying to do what's right, never quite getting there. Maybe you've seen it. Nipton. Elsewhere. There's your signal. Faint, but there. A woman in Kaiser's service. Looks like a bear has had its victory after all. There you are. You went quiet for a time. Thought you might have returned to Vegas, its comforts. Maybe you took that machine with you. There's a lesson here, in the divide. Old world history about holding on to something so tightly it breaks or falls apart. May have seen the cracks in Vegas's walls already. If so, they'll grow in time, no matter how much you back house. Thought that explosion, that building falling deep in the divide, might have been your work. Wouldn't kill you. Maybe close. Knew you'd survive, but no need to go any farther. You've brought me what I need. That machine with you, sealed in the Hopeville silo. Needed someone to unlock it, bring it home. Now the signal's strong enough. No need for you to carry it anymore. I can call your machine to me. Picking up the signal from your machine. Was quiet for a time. Thought the road had claimed another of the Legion. Too many of the bull have already fallen here to radiation, fire, and what burrows below. There you are. You went quiet for a time, and that signal came in strong from your machine, like a heartbeat. For all you've seen behind you, there's worse along this stretch. Death claws hunt the marked men, and they also hunt what burrows below. Made your way through old world towns, the tunnels that join them. Now the high road. Hopeville, high road, Ashton, tiny cracks in the earth, nothing compared to the road carved ahead. Before you, this is the edge of the divide. Ahead lies your work, the history you burned in the earth, what you brought to the people here. There's your signal, faint, but there, just like NCR. Voice without fire, without strength, sick. Heard tales of you walking the Mojave, giving the two-headed bear strength, giving hollow men like Kimball, like Crocker, half the life Hanlon had. Now, let's test that strength, that conviction, courier.
Didn't think you'd outlast the machines. Good. Took my machines. Underestimated you. No more echoes of the bull and the bear. The rest will share their fate. Just you and me then. Always was. The dead men of the New World. They've come for you. Running out of time, courier. Can't stop the old world's return, courier. Machines might keep you alive, but they won't save you. Killing them is mercy. Don't need old world medicine to kill you. Come all this way to die alone. Kill as many as you want. The divide will birth more. Destroying my machines won't help you. This facility will make more. I'll end you and your history. Another old world soldier falls. Old world's running out of machines. Mercy killings. Let them rest. Watch the shadows. The beasts cloak themselves in old world tech. Beasts from the divide. To the divide they return. Watch the floor. Minds, tactics of the bear. We've broken them. The bear and the bull have no more shadows to throw at us. You have forgotten all you were. Traded glory for savagery. Fitting. We've shown them fear, but not enough. More will come. They come for us, east and west alike. Even in this place, NCR's shadow falls. Or is it just you, courier, without the bear's corpse to weigh you down? So you came, Frumentari. Courier, whatever you are now, come to carry out Caesar's law. His voice carries no weight here. Your city, Vegas, lies in the other direction with the rest of its slaves. Or is it just you, courier, without the lights and ghosts? Judging by your shadow, maybe you can't let your machine go. Doesn't matter now. Either way, the divide giants are awakening. The missiles here on their way home. There is no way to stop them. You are too late. The divide is awakening. The package and the message within have come full circle. The sequence has begun just as before. Except this time, the missiles will touch the sky instead of being locked beneath the ground. So you came, courier. To what? Watch your homeland burn one last time? Kill me, perhaps? Clearing the chamber? Better off saving ammo. Fire, and I won't take it lying down. Better be sure. A tactic of the bear, worthy of handling. Watch the blast. Explosive. Got you. Let's end this. End of the road. We'll see what you stand for. Scavenger. The courier walked until he stood again upon the edge of the divide. The last road he would walk before the second battle for Hoover Dam. There, beside his feet, was a final package from one courier to another. A footlocker bearing a gift and a message. The courier walked until she stood again upon the edge of the divide, the last road she would walk before the second battle for Hoover Dam. There, beside her feet, was a final package from one courier to another, a footlocker bearing a gift and a message. As for the courier, he turned his back on his home for the second time and made his way back, navigating the treachery of the divide. As for the courier, she turned her back on her home for the second time and made her way back, navigating the treachery of the divide. Tunnelers and the marked men avoided the lone figure, as if recognizing the courier's right to passage, or out of fear. Missiles fell on the east, and the Legion encampment at Drywells, where the Twisted Hares had allied, then been betrayed by Wulpus and Caesar. Legion soldiers died, their silhouettes blasted into the ground and earth, the last word of the last of the Twisted Hares. At the end of the struggle, only one courier remained in the heart of the divide, the true courier. Courier 6. The courier tore the ancient flag of the Commonwealth from its cables and cast it over the corpse. Though whether done as a sign of respect or in anger for what had been endured to reach this moment, that is unknown. Interpretation is something best left to history, and only the surviving courier would ever know for certain. Hopeville burned lightless in the night, invisible fires of radiation scorching it from within and without. It is said a man still walked its streets with a tattered jacket, an old world flag etched on the back. It said, war never changes. As catastrophic as the damage was for NCR, the act made the courier stronger for having no history and no retreat. It was an ending to things, a way of erasing the road that had led to this point and the history that had walked with it. But that message, it is something for couriers to carry, and for them alone. The lights flickered across the divide, reminders that the old world histories persist and find meaning in the present. Men do, through the roads they walk. Women do, through the roads they walk. The divide erupted in fire as the flame trail of the two couriers' last message arced into the sky. He remained there, perhaps as punishment for the scars he left on the wastes, or a reminder of a history he could not forget. For Ulysses, his journey was over. The courier had been the end of his road. Missiles fell on NCR and the long 15 caravan route beyond the Mojave outpost, the road the courier had been walking when the tale began. Caravans and NCR outposts along the route were reduced to ash, an old world gift from the divide. It was an ending to things, a way of erasing the road that had led to this point and the history that had walked with it. The couriers finally really did it. They blew up the lands west and east of the Mojave, damning them all to hell. The act was discovered 200 years later as other couriers explored the Mojave wastes. There, they saw NCR relics, reminders of their once proud history. The divide erupted in fire, violent, red, as the last message of the two couriers arced into the sky. The missiles rained like spears down on the land, burning flags and communities alike, destroying all they struck. The history of the West was erased for the second time, thorough and complete, and America slept once more. And this road has reached its end.